There is a feeler out there of great note. His name's Jimmy Carr, the British comedian.
We love him.
He's got multiple Netflix specials. He was gonna buy advertising on the show to promote his Netflix specials.
What happened?
I know. His Netflix specials.
That's so funny.
Best of Gold is one of them, and just type in Jimmy Carr. He's also got that show called The Fix. He's got many things on Netflix. If you live in the UK, he's like the funny Ryan Seacrest of the UK. He hosts a shitload of shows.
Yeah, he's
widely had a tax scandal. Apparently, he had a scandal last week where he said something offensive, but it didn't cross the pond.
We're not going to talk about it. Number one,
he sent me a link to a website. One was on NPR. One was on Huffington Post about racist terms, because he's a feeler. He knows we love race. We're obsessed with it. We're obsessed with that. We're very interested in it. Here are some things that here's some terms that you may not have known were fucked up.
Just ruin my life right now.
It will ruin it, because what happens is you hear other people say it and then you're like, do I gotta intervene here?
But if we don't read this, then we don't know. That's kind of the nice part about ignorance.
That is the nice part about ignorance. It's from what I understand, it's bliss. It's been a long time, but I remember
from what I
bliss.
understand, it's bliss.
Gyp. Like, I got gypped. Like, the word gyp now means to cheat or swindle. Is essentially a condensing of the word gypsies, who throughout history have been stereotyped as a group that cheats and swindles people. Before the contemporary definition of gypsy, which is essentially a nomadic person, gypsy was a slur used to refer to Eastern European Romanis.
Romnichels. The thing is,
they call them Roma.
There's Roma, there's Romnichel, there's Irish.
I've never heard Romnichel. Is that German?
Romnichel, no, I'm not sure, but I know a lot of American gypsies, gypsies that came over to America and categorize themselves between Roma, Romnichel.
Okay.
I don't know. But in all fairness, like, gypsies kind of do swindle.
Look.
I mean, we're not.
In all fairness to everyone who's not a gypsy,
they
do be some swindle. I don't know. I'd love nothing more than to make a blanket statement.
I think.
A smallpox blanket statement.
Pilgrim go.
Than to say, I don't know enough about them.
I lived in Europe around a lot of gypsies. And
they're famous for, like, throwing babies at you, and then you catch the baby and they take your wallet, which is what I consider parenthood anyhow.
There's a lot. There's, like, Irish gypsies, British gypsies, there's a lot of gypsies in Hungary. They're all over the place. But
they look like they look like Draculas. They look like Dracula's cousins.
They look fine.
They have, like, low hairlines.
They're really
They
strange.
have thick eyebrows. They all seem, you know what? A lot of them seem, I'll go ahead and say inbred, since you opened the bidding with swindlers. I'm going to say they look inbred. They look inbred. I'm not saying they are, but they look inbred. Now, having said that, let me defend myself or get some goodwill. The reason they say Jewish and Irish people have big noses is because of excessive inbreeding. Or fucked up sinuses.
Irish people have pretty big noses.
Or, like, not necessarily big, but fucked up.
Oh,
like,
fucked
mine
up.
is, like, goes in 5 different directions.
Interesting, like angular.
Yeah.
Yours works.
With the glasses, it works.
Those glasses.
I mean,
they were too big before. Being around gypsies is this whole population I didn't know about, and I had to learn. I learned through, like, my Irish friends. In Austria, there's gypsies, whatever. They do swindle. They do.
For a living?
They kind of do.
I'll say that they're not known for, like, opening tech companies.
They're not.
You know what I mean? They're not known for, they're entrepreneurs. They're not small business owners, generally speaking.
They kind of capitalize the panhandling industry. They don't live anywhere, so they hoard a lot of their money, and they have a lot of money. So it's not that they're poor. It's just
where do they have it? In their camper?
Stashed. They have a lot of money.
Based on what? Like, what do you say that based on? I'm basing my stereotypes
living in Europe and, like, living around people
that I've seen.
I'm living in Europe and living around people who, like, questioning everyone, like, what is this gypsy thing?
Yeah.
Researching it because I was very confused. I'm like, do they just live wherever? It's strange. And for example, I was standing outside the big train station in Paris, and there was these gypsies panhandling and asking.
Yeah, they're regulars at the train station. Okay. They really are.
And so it was in front of McDonald's. I was standing next to McDonald's across the street. And my friend, I'm like, oh, I feel so bad because they were digging through trash. And he was like, oh, don't feel bad for them. And, it's a Parisian person, so they're assholes anyways.
Yeah, they're extra callous, but so glamorous.
So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not joking. It seemed like a movie. 5 minutes later, a stretch Mercedes-Benz pulls up and they all get in. A stretch Mercedes-Benz. Like from...
Like a 1988.
Like an Abu Dhabi, gotta fit my harem. Mercedes-Benz pulls up and they all get in. And he was like, see, they don't need your money. Like it's...
again, that's that group, but I'm with you. They seem like they run fake...
They just do
the ones I've seen. Again, these are... I'm sure there's plenty of...
Well, the ones in America have settled. They're not... They just kind of...
they just do identity theft, things like that.
No, I don't know about that. They keep up their traditions of we do this, but they're all settled for the most part. They're not nomadic or vagabonds anymore. But I'm just going by what I saw. Like I was like in Austria, they almost killed me because I was trying, they were doing find the ball.
Yeah.
Old school, New York subway shit. And I'd never find the ball. I was like, I thought I was in the middle.
Motherfuckers.
And then I walked one time on the other side of them, and it was the same. It was like a girl, a plant, and the one guy was winning. They were scamming this guy. I'm like, wait, it's the middle one. It's the middle one. And then
you will get rolled.
He didn't hear me, so he picked the wrong one. I'm like, dude, it was the middle one. And all three of them turned around and they stared at me. And I was like, I'm never walking down this street again. Yeah. So that's my exposure to them. Yes. I think it's ignorant of me to say, but it's also
this is pure ignorance on our part.
I'm not fully ignorant. No,
this
I'm not.
Is impure. It's based on seeing.
It's not those two things. No, it's not. It's based on
how many gypsies or Roma or whatever you want to call them do you think you've dealt with in your life?
Dealt with
or experienced.
It's okay. Think about this. It's the equivalent of asking me, how many homeless people have you dealt with in your life? I don't think you're out there shaking hands with the homeless. I mean, you live in Venice, there's plenty of them, but you live next to them. You can observe them and so you can make statements. It doesn't mean you're fully ignorant, but I'm not about to say they're all like that. I'm just saying it's prevalent. It's a prevalent thing.
I'm saying shame on us, but I wouldn't take a word back.
One half.
You're standby. You're riding, and you will continue to use the term gyp.
Don't use that term.
Ghetto, we know that. Racist origins, area of Venice, Italy. It was a place where Jewish people lived. So everybody knows that ghetto started there. Chinese whisper, not interested. Irish goodbye.
Oh yeah, what is an Irish goodbye?
An Irish goodbye is another way of saying a hasty exit without stopping to formally say goodbye to anyone. It can also be known as a French exit, or probably insert any country that your country has a problem with exit. In France, it's called something, to leave it an English way. At any rate, you might want to think before you use the phrase that stereotypes an entire nationality of people as being rude. I mean, I will. I know you won't.
Irish goodbye.
Irish goodbye. I'm Irish, and my whole family's Irish.
Right.
Bunch of psychos. A bunch of impetuous, sulking, angry psychos, and that you can take that to the bank. They will cash that check. You go, I am here about the Irish psychos? Yeah, right away, sir. Sold down the river. This is a good one. The phrase meaning betrayed or cheated originated in the Mississippi River region during the American slave trade. Troublesome slaves would literally be sold down the river to southern Mississippi, where the plantation conditions were much harsher, and they would get broken.
And they would get what?
Broken by slave breakers, hard ass slave people, which was another one that at the last one, cracker, the term cracker for white people,
cracking the whip on the
whip
back.
crack. It's, and the person It's kind of where they get redneck from. It is where they get redneck from too. Rednecks were the guys, the white guys that were in the fields
horses.
with the slaves.
You know what's funny? Cracker, if everybody knew that it was actually a whip cracker and not a saltine American.
I don't think that's. Do you think people think it's in reference to the saltine?
I just think people think like white people like crackers.
I think cracker is a class
like white
thing. Yeah, I think it's a cracker like just uncivilized, uneducated. White trash, basically. Trailer trash, whatever you want to say.
No, I think black people usually just use it to refer to a white person. And it's also an old black man being like, cracker is hilarious.
Of course. Cracker is cracker.
Cracker.
Thank you, Chris.
Go cracker.
Uppity, obviously.
Uppity?
Originated as a word used by Southerners in reference to any African American they deemed didn't know their place in society. You knew that, right?
I didn't.
Did really?
No.
Damn. Yeah, Damn. Uppity. She's an uppity Negro, basically. He's he's uppity. Like he doesn't. Yeah.
White
doesn't
people
know his
like
place.
their black people well behaved.
Absolutely. Well, having said that, white people like our white people well behaved too.
But they glorify not well behaved white people. They're
bad boys. They're
bad boys, but they're glorified.
Outlaw cowboys.
They're glorified.
They're Charlie Sheen. Just having a fun time. This is a good one. Peanut galleries were the upper balconies that African American people sat in segregated theaters. They were also known by several even more derogatory names, which will not be named here.
You know what's fucked up is that white people literally make a world with paths for only whites. Disrespect black people for 400 years and expect them to walk the white path. And the moment they go off path, it's like, oh my God.
They're so uncivilized. I wonder how they got there. Maybe hundreds of years of us treating them like absolute garbage.
It's just weird to me that it's like now obey and accept our religion and God and do the thing we're doing. But like, you have to do it over there. Or you have to be segregated because we don't want you near us. But we want you to do the same action.
Yeah, we need you to do the thing, but just not
it's
near
like,
us.
In a way, it's kind of like a horror movie. Like you're kidnapped and it's like, now sit. Aren't you having a good time?
I don't know if you heard of a movie called Get Out.
Well, it's similar.
It is. It is the whole experience of black people in America is horror. It's horror.
Fucking
there's no
situation.
So the well-behaved basically have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. Well, they have, oh my God, the Stockholm syndrome in certain.
It's like, you want to know the hallmark of a black woman that you know is out of her mind? Blue contacts. You go, you're fucking automatic.
See, that's like fun dress up.
I'm talking about a woman who does it every day. Black woman who has blue contacts every day has lost her mind.
You know Tiny T.I.'s girl, Family Hustle? She went to Africa to get a procedure that changes permanently the color of your irises. It's like an implant. It's like a blue implant. So now she has blue eyes.
Does that seem like a cool thing to do?
Fucking that seems
no disrespect
insane.
to Tiny.
No disrespect. It's insane.
Or T.I. I would love to write for your sketch show.
Skip forward, T.I.
If you have any dishes I could possibly do, you know that I'm
T.I.
all the
don't
way
listen
down.
to this part.
Yeah.
No, it's like that's when it really is this deep psychological white supremacy in your mind.
No, having said that, how do you not get broken by white people?
It
requires such a level of persistent anger and resistance.
But if you do resist, you're still gonna get broken by them somehow.
Just by entering American culture, you're gonna get broken by. Everyone gets broken.
Everyone gets broken.
Oh, this is a good one. Hip hip hooray comes from the German hep hep, which was originally a shepherd's herding cry, so the origin itself was not racially charged. However, during the Holocaust, German citizens began using it as a rallying cry while hunting for Jewish people in the ghettos. Its anti-Semitic usage even dates back to the 1819 riots, the Hep Hep riots. It's all horrible.
This is how do you feel? Tell us how do you feel? This is how Neal feel. Tell us just how you feel, Neal. Ay. I said, welcome to how Neal feel. You know the deal. Gotta learn just how Neal Brennan feels and keeps it real with his co-host Bianca.